The BumbleKast is for entertainment purposes only. The host's comments and opinions, and those of their guests, are wholly their own and do not represent that of any other entity. Content is provided as is, with no guarantees of accuracy or timeliness. Unauthorized redistribution or editing of the BumbleKast in whole or in part is strictly prohibited.
Welcome to the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Kraus.
Hey, what's up?
Hi. This is the last show we're recording before we go over to Super Magfest to do BumbleKast live.
What? That's freaky.
Yeah.
I'm scared, Ian. I'm literally just terrified. What are we going to do?
It's been a long time since I've been on stage, so it's a little nerve-wracking, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get back into the swing of things.
It's been a long time since we've seen each other in person.
That too.
The last time that happened was before the show, because we talked about doing this show. It was the first time we ever talked about doing the show was in person. And now
we have come full circle. The prophecy shall be fulfilled. When the Kyle and the Ian come into alignment and the new moon rises over the Red Sea.
It's our reunification arc.
Bumblegeddon is upon us.
It's true.
Bumble-apocalypse.
It's true.
Well, before we can enjoy the end of the world, we have to get through these questions that come from our patrons over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members.
Yes, indeed. All right, 8-7-4-7-9 is going to start us off. So, Ian, what did you think of My Hero Academia Season 7, particularly the season finale with that infuriating cliffhanger?
Infuriating? No, sir. That's how you do a cliffhanger. That's how you end a season, because you want to come back, and if they don't do a Season 8, I may turn rabid. It makes all the money. They have to make a Season 8.
Yeah, but you hate rabbits.
No. Not the 1B. 1B.
Okay.
The better kind of rabbit. Anyway, I felt a lot of season 6 and 7 were really dragging their feet to not catch up with the manga, because the manga was wrapping up. I believe it's wrapped up now. I haven't read it. No spoilers still, but it really felt like they were trying to pace it out so they didn't overtake it and have to find a place to put filler. But then you would get episodes where characters are having flashbacks of moments of a fight that happened in the same episode. And it's like, yeah, you're spinning your wheels here. I would have taken a side story battle mini filler thing just to have something a little more substantial than that. But boy, howdy, the end. Oh my God, dude. Yeah, Deku's doing whatever. No. All Might. And oh my God. Okay. See, I don't want to spoil this for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. But everything with All Might at the end there, how the thematics of the entire series have come together for this fight and how he is going about it and what he has learned from the students. I got misty-eyed. I ain't gonna lie. Because it's him being inspired by the students. It's a full reversal. He is not inspiring them anymore. It's them inspiring him. It's not him driving them to greatness. It's them showing him the way to win. And it feels so earned that this journey has brought us here. And I'm fully expecting for there to be a bad end, and I will man cry over it, and I will have no shame. Because, okay. I'm looking forward to season 8. I'm in for it because I want to see where things are going. Okay, sure. But that season finale, that's how you get a hook in there. And yeah, there was the Todoroki stuff, but it's like, I'm kind of done with their family drama. We get it. It's poignant. There's growth and whatever. We're done. And then it wasn't done. And it's like, can it be done now? We've had our catharsis twice. Can we be done? Please? I don't know. Maybe it's just not catering to me specifically, but for a different audience. And you know what? I appreciate that. You enjoyed as much as you want. You could just say I'm a little hot and cold on the whole thing.
But
that'd be hilarious, Kyle, if you know what I was talking about.
But I'm assuming it's hilarious because you are laughing.
Yes.
so it must be hilarious.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm glad. Here's one from Allison S. A question for both of you. Are there any songs you love from a group or genre you don't normally like? For example, I couldn't tell you any songs by Van Halen besides Why Can't This Be Love, but I adore it. One-hit wonders don't count. I'm sure you know other songs by Van Halen. You just don't realize they're by Van Halen, Allison. They're so ubiquitous, you probably don't even realize it.
I'm sure there's a ton of examples that I just don't know because I'm terrible with music trivia. You know, a song will come on and I'm like, yeah, this one. And Lee goes, oh, yeah, it's by this group. And I'm like, oh, really? Or this particular one comes on and she's like, can we not? I hate this group. And I'm like, oh, but I like this one. I didn't know it was by them. Okay. But in general, like giant blanket statement.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of country in general. Just not really fond of the twang and such. But a whole bunch of Dan Fogelberg's discography
Yeah.
speaks to me. Now, granted, I grew up on it. It was like one of the cassette tapes that we would have on the long car trips. Kids, if you don't know what a cassette tape is, ask your parents and watch them wither to dust.
And then ask your parent, and then you'd have your parents be like, I don't know what it is either. I'll ask my parents.
Don't do this to me, Kyle. But, and some of Dan's stuff is a little twangy for me. But then there's some other stuff that is super twangy, and I'm like, nah, this is my jam. I was actually doing a deep clean of the place and had it just blaring on the speakers while Aaliyah was out. And she comes home and she gives me this look of, what are you listening to? It's Dan Fogelberg. And she's like, I thought you hated country. It's like, but it's Dan Fogelberg.
It's the one. It's the one exception.
Well, that and I don't know who the artist is, but it's the song about how she completely destroys this guy's truck because he cheated on her.
That is a very good one.
Fantastic revenge anthem.
That is a very good one. Yeah, I like that one.
It don't matter what you listen to, you're belting along with it. Oh, like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of every country song, to be fair, but
yeah, but this in particular, this one you even hear on like the mainstream stations or like the rock stations because it's just a really satisfying. I got you back.
Yeah. Come on, Dolly Parton's a legend. Come on.
Well, yeah, but that's Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton is like
she transcends genre.
Yeah, you do not say anything bad about Miss Parton. Even if you don't like her music, you don't say nothing bad about Miss Parton.
Yeah. For me, in particular, it's the song Don't Stop Moving by S Club 7. I don't know, man. It's a bop. It's great. Not really a genre I normally listen to too much, but yeah, it's a very good one.
I say I don't know it off the top of my head, but I probably know
You will probably recognize it if you heard it. But yeah, I think there's one other song by S Club 7 that I can't think of the name of that was like a hit that I know of, and it's all right. But it Don't Stop Moving is a freaking banger. It's a fun song. So that's mine. I don't hate S Club 7 or anything, and I don't hate the genre that the song is. It's just like pop, 2000s pop, I guess. But I mean, yeah, it's good. Alolan Figment has a question. Which 3 Pokemon would you most like to see if they ever made a new fighting game like Pocket Tournament again? And what would they play like?
Well, given my biases, put in a Farfetch'd and a Surfetch'd. I mean, and Kyle, for your reference, Farfetch'd is a duck with a leek stem.
Yeah, I know Farfetch'd.
Okay, and Surfetch'd is an evolution where he's bigger and manlier and now has like a leafy shield to go along with his leek lance.
Apparently I said Pokin wrong.
That's well. I knew what you're talking about.
But it's Pokey and Tekken, Pokken, but they're pocket monsters. Anyway, whatever, I don't care.
Point is, I want to see the duck beat stuff with vegetables because I think that's hilarious.
Good. How would Mudkip play?
He's a little boy,
very tiny,
so maybe more,
very small,
maybe more about evasion and avoision. But he's also, a very powerful combo of water and ground. So maybe he's more about choosing the right attacks and getting in there with a quick wombo combo of water and dirt and then backing out.
Good.
I don't know what all is in Pokken Tournament, but I'll fall back on my old boy Blastoise.
Is Blastoise
He was my workhorse back in the day. So,
Pokken Tournament. Blastoise might be in Pokken Tournament. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah, Blastoise is.
Okie dokie. Be that way. Good for him. Glad he's in.
Good. That's what he deserves.
See, I don't want to go with like your traditional fighting types because that's too easy.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense, sure, but I don't want to go too out there. Like, shoot, what's the name of that thing? That's like it's a boat steering wheel covered in moss and like an anchor, and it's actually kind of scary looking. You know what? Never mind. That thing flying around, hitting things with its anchor, and then just like dragging it across the ground, launching it, and beating it up by spinning. No, that'd be freaking awesome. What am I talking about? Absolutely.
Delmise?
Delmise. There you go. It's got a cool name too that I can never remember.
Yeah. I want the one that's just a set of keys.
Yes, that would be hilarious. See, that's your Dan Hibiki.
Yeah.
Like, it's weak and it's slow and it has no good moves, but if you learn the kit, you can just humble people with it. I would be behind that 100%.
Klefki, yeah. I just want a set of keys. That's all I want.
I like Klefki. I think it's a fun design.
Yeah, I know. It is. It's so ridiculous. Like, clearly they were just looking at their desk like, what's on my desk? What can I turn into this design? Oh, perfect. Pokemon designs are funny sometimes. All right. Moving on to this one from Andrew D. With Anti-Mega Man 1 covered, let's move on to the next story chronologically from the Archie perspective. Time keeps slipping. With the good Dr. Wily's plans to stop the evil Dr. Light ended by the battle-loving Mega Man, where are officials taking Dr. Wily, and how does the story progress up to the end where he creates his own 8 robot masters?
So, Wily is still Wily's still under arrest for stealing Dr. Light's property.
Yeah.
And Dr. Light is still keeping up the facade that he's, the benevolent creator of these wonderful robots for all of humanity. And how dare Wily take them and turn them into such evil weapons? Look at what he did. Dr. Light didn't put the weapons on him. What are you talking about? Wily did it when he stole them. Yeah, that's the ticket. And Roll enlists Oil Man and Time Man to break Wily out to secretly conspire against Mega Man and Dr. Light. And Mega Man and the others go in to stop her. And Wily manages to escape in all of the fighting because these robots are crazy. He doesn't want to deal with this anymore. Bye-bye.
And he's going to go make his own.
And just because we're doing the whole evil antiverse thing, Agents Krantz and Stern take his full confession and then throw it away because they're absolutely in Dr. Light's pocket.
Uh-huh.
They are super corrupt cops.
Oh, good. As they should be, dang it. This is the antiverse.
And then how does Roll get away with all this? She claims that Wily did some kind of like weird upload to her, and she didn't betray them. It was clearly Wily's grander plan. Haha, sleeper sneaker agent stuff. Don't worry, Dr. Light. She figured it out. Her antiviral kicked in and she saved herself. Don't have to look at her code or memory banks or nothing. She's fine.
How does Roll get away with it? By being freaking Roll, man. She can get away with whatever she wants. She deserves it. Question from Aura. I vaguely remember Ian mentioning his least favorite Pokemon was the Salamence line. Correct me if I'm wrong. That is my literal favorite Pokemon ever. That being said, I can certainly understand them being a little ugly. Do either of you have a few favorite Pokemon?
Salamence is one of my least favorite lines. It's not my absolute least favorite, but I don't know. What's the first form? Bagon? I think. Bagon's not bad, but I hate the little stubby vestigial arms. They don't look like anything. They're little nubbins. It's like, this is where you just sew in a couple of flaps when you make the plush and throw it out the door. It doesn't look like a functioning animal for the most part. Shelgon's fine, and it's kind of neat that you have a dragon type that's going in a different direction in its evolutionary line. Something that goes so very defensive. And there is a visual motif between all three that I appreciate. I really do. I hate those stupid little thin winglings on the side. I know what it's supposed to be, but it doesn't look functional. It looks dumb. It looks like a toy. And that's where I really get It's where this grown man has opinions about Pokemons.
They're all toys, Ian.
I know. But the ones that are so blatantly toys bug me when they don't look like they could be a functioning creature in a fanciful environment. Pikachu looks like an animal, very stylized and definitely marketable, but it looks like something that could be running around in the grass eating apples and stuff. Most of the starters look like functioning critters to some degree. Salmon, not so much. And some of the later generations are even more egregious, but...
And yet you're on board for Klefki?
Well, see, Klefki's different because Klefki's a fairy type. That's already beyond just...
Okay.
And when you see it in motion, it's more like a weird floating insect.
Yeah.
And the little key ring breaks apart and it gathers keys. It's just collecting shiny things.
Okay.
So to me, it looks more like a little fanciful bug. I'll get behind that one. I'm okay. I mean, ghost types, fairy types, I feel like you can allow for a little bit more there. And it's a very simple design. It's not over designed like so many of these others. It just gets the point across.
It's a little fae that steals your keys. I like that.
Yes.
That's funny.
See, that works for me.
Yeah. Okay.
But I already said, I love Farfetch'd and Zerfetch'd because duck that hits things with vegetables is comedic genius.
Oh, they're funny as heck. Yeah, they're great. I love them.
I really like Annihilape is just Primeape got so angry he died and then came back to hit things more. That's funny. That's excellent.
I like Mudkip. Partly because of an old meme. But also because Mudkip's adorable and it shoots water. That's pretty cool.
He's got like one of the only not stupid Mega Evolutions. Like it actually looks cool.
All right. Here's a question from Beatball. Is Foreign single or are he and Jobun a thing? If not, I'm free anytime, any place.
Sorry, but Foreign's heart belongs to one woman in particular, and that's kind of the crux of book 4. So be patient.
Well, I don't know, man. It seems like both the ladies, the men, and any other genders all really like Foreign, it sounds like. They got a thing for him. I don't know what it is.
I mean, it certainly can't be that he's got his act together or he has magnificent hair or a decent clothing style or...
Besides, Ian, he has 2 hands and a tail. Come on.
He does.
He has all those things. Come on. KB is here with a question. Ian and Kyle, what are your favorite and least favorite tropes in fiction? Oh boy.
I hate to throw one out or champion one in particular because if they're used effectively,
yeah,
it's perfectly fine. If the story goes in that route, that's one thing. If it's here is the trope, we're building towards it, then you start to fall into the tiger trap. You shouldn't be building towards we want the Darth Vader reveal. I mean, sure, it can be a guidepost that you're building towards, but it should be because that's what the characters are trying to get to, not because you want that big reveal moment. If it comes naturally to the story, if that's a good place to punctuate a big change in the characters, great. Tropes are not, harmful in that regard. But if you're going into it with the mindset of, oh, I want to copy this beat because I liked it, it has to be earned. You can't just throw it in there and expect it to be as effective as the other media.
Right.
One I'm seeing a lot of lately is here are the 2 completely different characters that start off at odds and then they find some small bit of common ground and now they're like super in love, but they never actually show the growth or progression there. I've seen that in at least 3 things that I've watched, and it's like I can see it coming. It's like, okay, these 2 characters are really bickering at each other. They're going to fall in love, and it's not going to be revealed until like the end of the season. They're going to be catty with each other the entire time. And nope, it was just them, denying their own passions. Is like,
shipping tropes.
Having the opposites attract is perfectly valid. It can be fun.
Yes.
But you need to show the growth.
Yeah.
You can't just have one meaningful conversation with a somber soundtrack and, oh, they've gotten over all their differences and they want to smooch. I understand there's only so much time in your program, but if you're going to make these characters go through this journey together, you can't skip parts of it.
Kind of sick of the trope where characters will like get angry at each other over something that could be easily resolved if they just talked about it for a minute.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's very, very obnoxious and very, very tiring and exhausting. And it's just like, come on, this is stupid. Like, I know you're trying to like get drama going between these two characters, but this ain't it, man. This is not right. No, I just
At the same time, I would say trying to actively subvert a trope,
yeah,
usually backfires.
It's not easy, no.
Because you're trying so hard to, set it up and then, haha, I gotcha. And it's like, well, then it's not satisfying. Or you were so focused on the reveal that you didn't think about what it meant in the greater context.
Yeah.
But as a counterexample to this, one that actually kind of worked, been catching up on, what's it, Zenless Zone Zero?
Yeah.
The one with 3 Zs in a row. And did a particular character's subplot. And there was a subversion to his own expectations by the end. And usually this goes in the route of, well, I've learned this new thing about this character to my past, and so I see them in a new light, and I forgive them for everything. And the subversion would be, no, even though they secretly cared for me, I'm holding a grudge, which could be tragic, but also kind of boring.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, the character comes out of it going, no, I don't know how to feel. This is really complicated, and I kind of have to take the good with the bad and move forward. And it's like, that is so refreshing. I was not expecting this from you, the game, entirely.
Yeah.
So neat.
Yeah, the trope about parents dying or someone's parents being dead is kind of tiring too. It's like, all right, come on. We don't need to kill the parents to give the person motivation. It's not required. Like, come on, come up with something else.
Or the branch of that nowadays is actually they didn't die, they're back and they're evil.
Or that, yeah. Oh well, let's move on, shall we?
Let's.
Here's this one from Comic the Hedgehog. Nintendo finally makes a game for me specifically, a Toadette game. She's the only playable character in the whole thing, and you're tapped to write it. What story will you tell that will finally give my best girl her due and win all the awards?
Basically, Mushroom Kingdom candy-coated Bayonetta. Where
okay.
Toadette is just this very sweet and happy and upbeat individual who is taking out all sorts of demons that live on the fringes of reality that you don't even know about. She is scaling buildings and felling monsters that you wouldn't even conceive of in this universe, and then just goes back to the Toad House and is like, hey, want to play canasta? Like, she is literally saving the fabric of reality behind the scenes, and you don't even realize it.
Yeah.
And she does it with a smile on her face and a skip in her step.
Good. Very nice. Would Toad just not believe her if she ever said and mentioned any of this?
See, I don't even want to do that.
You don't even want to do that?
Toad the jerk? No, it's just that he has no idea.
She just doesn't
His
bring it
friend
up.
Went out one day and came back looking a little, worse for wear. Are you okay? Just took a tumble down the hill. I'm fine. Is that brimstone I smell? It was a long hill. No worries.
Good. I like it. I would play the heck out of a game like that.
Photorealistic Giga Bowser out of Melee. Unreal Engine rendered.
Nice. Family-friendly Bayonetta.
Yeah.
In a way. In a sense. Maybe E10 plus. Dawson the Dachshund has a question. In an episode of Adventure Time, Finn the human gets cursed with hermit eyes, which causes whoever he sees to turn into how he perceives them. The change is mostly cosmetic, but can get very extreme, like turning people he sees as wise into old people or turning people he hates into monsters. Now these eyes have found their way into Dr. Light's sockets. How will he cope, and what will some of the people he sees become?
This is how we get world peace. because Dr. Light sees the good in everyone.
Yeah.
Like he's the eternal optimist. He's driven by hope and aspirations. So everyone he sees, he's going to see the best versions of them.
Even Wiley? Yeah, I guess
Even
so.
Wiley. He's going to see Wiley as someone who is tragically up his own arse, but he really is brilliant. And if he could just come around with a little bit of humility, he could do great things.
Dr. Light is too pure for this world, Ian. I don't know if you know that. He's too he can't. DDR Master M has a question. It's time for random dancing. What dance do you choose to perform for this prompt? Actual dancing optional.
I don't dance. I resemble a Fraggle being tased. It's not pretty.
Screw it. I'll do the Macarena.
Yeah, all right. We'll Macarena it up. Sure.
Yeah.
May not be on the beat, but I'll try.
Or maybe Bully McGuire. That's pretty funny. All right, Double L has a question. So in Pre-Boot BumbleKast, we used to talk about a comedy spin-off series. Let's tear that idea into post-boot and start crafting ourselves a Mega Man Boom, which will need a better name. Let's take it slow and start with just the two main characters for now, Rock and Wily. What absurd changes make them different from their canon counterparts? Isn't this just Ruby Spears?
Oh no, isn't it?
At least certain episodes.
No. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if Ruby Spears was allowed to continue or was brought back in this day and age.
It might be a bit more goofy. Although Mega Man Fully Charged was also apparently pretty goofy.
Yeah, I never got around to watching it. All right, so Mega Boom. Boom Man.
Mega Blast. Mega Man Blast.
Yeah, Mega Blast. All right, why not?
Mega Man Blast.
We'll completely ham up the good boy Rock angle.
Okay.
Like he is absolutely 100% oblivious to anything negative in the world, and he just wants to help. And he will willingly and energetically wander into whatever blatant trap Wily has set for him. Like, oh, Mega Man, I can't pick up these eggs off the kitchen floor. Would you go pick them up? You know, it's covered in laser triggers, and there's a very large spike trap overhead. There's robo-gators in the kitchen floor ready to get him.
Uh-huh.
Sure, Dr. Wily, I'll help. And Dr. Wily is just an over-the-top, cantankerous, maybe German, just for the sake of Ruby Sphere's honor him.
Yeah.
Who is almost more akin to Mr. Wilson out of Dennis the Menace. Like, he doesn't have any grand conquest plans. He doesn't like this kid. This robot kid who mows his lawn, even though he doesn't ask him to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who brings him the paper every morning. He doesn't even subscribe to a paper. He's just so sweet and nice, and he hates it.
Yeah.
And it turns into a Tom and Jerry skit, whatever is going on, because his plan will backfire, and he'll be burnt or lasered or chewed on by a robo crocodile.
And Dr. Light just talks in an Elmer Fudd voice.
Yep.
That's the most important part.
Everyone at home, make sure you're taking notes, because I'm not.
Yep. All right. And our last question before we take a break is from Hario. I've always loved the world of Splatoon, and it's been a special interest of mine for a while. It's so cool how fleshed out it is with fake brands and corporations, and how little of it we have to think of as just gameplay mechanics. My only problem, we only get to see glimpses of it in-game. The lore-focused art books only have fan translations, and the manga is unfortunately non-canonical and doesn't really take itself as seriously enough to show the more serious elements of the world. So here's my question for you, Ian. If you were tasked to write an entirely original story set in the world of Splatoon, what would be your proposal? I would be very interested to see your take on it.
As a matter of fact, I actually did write that up to get it out of my system, and I put it on my personal Patreon. So if you want to give that a look, head over to patreon.com/IanFlynnWriting and sign up for any amount and get a look-see at that and everything else I've managed to put up there.
Oh, can you give us a little teaser, maybe, like an elevator pitch?
Basically, it's a kid comes from a small town into Inkopolis and has to restart her life in terms of joining the competitive leagues, and puts together a team of outsiders who don't really fit in any other team. And then they come together to find the true meaning of friendship and cooperation and yada, yada, yada.
Well then, go check that out. And in the meantime, we're going to take a quick break and be back with more on the BumbleKast.
We're the bee and the berry. I'm the bee.
Jobs. No, I'm the bee.
Oh, my bad. We can cut that, right?
No, we can cut that.
Okay. We're the bee and the berry.
I'm the bee.
And I'm Strawberry.
And The Bee and the Berry is an irregularly scheduled podcast where we talk all things Sonic, writing fan fiction, and fan creation.
We snoop around at fan events, review the latest and hottest Sonic content, and host interviews with our fellow Sonic fan creators.
You know, just girly things.
And hey, if you want, you can totally send us any discussion topics or questions you'd like us to talk about, and we might answer them.
Or we might not.
But hey, you never know. You can find us on Twitter, Blue Sky, Tumblr, and YouTube at The Bee the Berry.
Okay, we're running out of time here. Gotta grow fast.
Ciao.
We are back, and we have a question from Hero Squad. Wario and Sans decide to exchange brothers for the day. How does Wario deal with Papyrus and vice versa for Sans and Waluigi?
Huh.
Yeah.
Never have I seen a more appetizing recipe for disaster.
Yes.
Let's see. Wario and Papyrus. Wario is going to scam Papyrus all day. Like, Papyrus is going to be the unwitting stooge to rob the underground blind, and he has no idea. And yet it's wholesome
Somehow.
because he thinks he's helping. And then Waluigi just snaps after about the 100th pun.
Yeah.
And then goes on the offensive, and then he's going to have a bad time.
Would Waluigi be mad that Sans got into Smash and he didn't?
Now, to be fair, Waluigi is at least an assist trophy. Sans is just a costume for the Mii Gunner.
Yeah, but like it covers up the Mii Gunner's face. You could literally have anything, and he looks just like Sans. Like,
yeah, and you do get a custom gun, and you get the soundtrack. Waluigi doesn't even get that.
no,
so you
yeah,
can't,
yeah,
play.
he has his
Yeah,
theme
no.
song. Nah, yeah, he's basically as much of a character as you can get without being an
Yeah.
actual character.
Yeah, all right. So, yeah. Waluigi's going to go on the warpath, and
Yeah,
unfortunately for him, in this scenario, he's not from that set of music videos. This is just regular, default Waluigi. And again, it's Sans, so he's going to have a bad time.
yeah, he's gonna get dunked on.
Now, it really takes a turn when they are supposed to swap back, and Sans realizes that Wario has been using his brother this entire time, and Wario realizes that Waluigi is just gone. So now we have Wario versus Sans, and you have Sans and all that he can pull off, and Wario with all of experience in WarioWare.
Oh boy.
I don't know who's going to come out on top on that one.
Oh boy.
But it will be a spectacle. I guarantee you that.
Oh boy. Good. Mixer17 has a question. Any older video games that are hard to play either of you would love to see a remake or remaster of? Maybe with some little quality of life stuff added? Mine would be Darkstone, because the app version they made was trash. Or Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, where they give it better card drop chances and don't have stupid requirements for unlocks with few cards.
I mean, saying games are harder is not much of a bar for me because I'm bad at games. Like, games that I know are not that hard can be challenging for me. So I feel like that's a little unfair.
I play a lot of old games, so I'm used to old school jank. But yeah.
Just give me a fully upraised Skies of Arcadia. Don't even change anything about it. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I just want it in prettier pixels. Change nothing else. Not the music, not the story, not the mechanics. Yeah, I know it's a bit of a slog turn-based, but I don't care. I want that nostalgia.
One I want, and technically exists unofficially, but I would like to see a proper remake of Super Mario Brothers Special, which is a port of Super Mario Brothers to the to Japanese computers, specifically the NEC PC-88 and the Sharp X1. It is Super Mario Brothers kind of like the original, as you know it. But the level designs are different, and also it scrolls screen by screen. So,
God.
Yeah, it does not have smooth scrolling. It literally is one screen, then moves over to the next, then jumps over to the next as you get to the edge, as you get to each edge of the screen. So it's a very different game. There is a ROM hack of Super Mario Brothers, the original, that brings over the level designs and the unique power-ups, which is a very cool thing. It's called Super Mario Brothers Special 35th Anniversary Edition. It's a great game. It's fun, and I like it a lot in that form. But the original is a little rough to play, so I would like to see that something official done with that. It's like one of those lost versions of Super Mario Brothers that we just haven't seen officially since it came out. So yeah, there's some weird stuff going on in there, like bringing back some Donkey Kong and Mario Bros. Enemies, the original Mario Brothers arcade game. So. And but it's pretty neat. The colors are weird, but it's fun. I recommend checking out that ROM hack if you haven't. It's really interesting. Some of the level design ideas are pretty funny. Like, they troll you a little bit. Not nearly as bad as Super Mario Brothers 2, but there's a little trolling going on. Onyxodon has a question. DC Comics and Warner Brothers invite you both to write and star in a new series featuring Ian as Scarecrow for his voice impressions and Kyle as the Joker for his infectious laugh. Whatever format, live action or animation, only 2 specific requests are required. Your likenesses and mannerisms are necessary, and your portrayals can't be just a copy or imitation of another portrayal. They have to be unique. What is the story? Who's the main antagonist? And how much fun do you have? And why not throw Leah in there as the condiment queen and Jen as the music meister while you're at it? Okay.
All right. If we're doing this, I say make it the spiritual successor to the Adam West Batman series.
Okay, yeah. Adam West Batman, yeah.
Like, get big name TV stars to play the principal cast outside of what we've been contractually obligated to do.
Yeah.
And have them do it in that borderline play it straight, but they're hamming it up, but they're not being hammy. They're still trying to play it straight type of thing. And don't take anything seriously, but again, play it straight. That's what the Adam West Batman was so fun about, is that in their world, it was all gravely serious, but to us, it was ridiculous.
Yes.
Return to that formula, because I'm so tired of grim Batman. We've had so many grim Batmans. Let's have some fun Batman. Let's get a little more brave and the bold.
Let's go back to Brave and the Bold. Yeah, come on.
Yeah. Well, just let them have fun, because you could tell everybody on that set was having a grand time.
Oh, they were just goofing off the whole time. It's great.
Exactly.
It's
so
great.
let this be, let it be fun. And then if they're having fun, the viewers are having fun. And
yes,
make it episodic. Just have it be goofy, except have like tiny clues throughout the first season that actually add up to something. And then the season finale is dead serious.
Oh yeah.
Like, everything comes together. There are actual stakes. There is peril. You're going, wait, what?
Hold on.
And then you start season 2 with a joke and you instantly resolve it and you go on from there.
Yes, please. Sign me up. I'm in.
Like, let me do goofy little hayseed scarecrow. I'm full of straw. And then, in the last episode, I'm dangling a tarantula over Batman's face. How far do you think it will crawl down your throat, Batman?
Oh, boy. Terrifying.
Let you be, giggly Joker where you're just kind of laughing at anything.
Yeah, very much. I mean,
your henchmen are getting biffed, powed, and bopped left, right, and center.
Yes.
And then, the last episode, Robin is actually screaming as he's dipped into the vat of acid. And you still have that joyful little laugh as if it's nothing heinous. Go like complete mind twist, disturbing at the end.
Sounds good to me.
Start the new season by saying, oh, it's just Scarecrow fear gas. What'd you see? Was it a tarantula? They're spooky, ain't they?
Yes. Apparently Jen has something to add, I think.
Well, if I'm the music meister, you need to know that bullies used to pick on me because I sang in choir. But something very strange occurred when I kept singing higher. The ruffians around me quickly fell into a trance, And it was then with a wicked glee that I made those puppets dance. The Music Meister sings the song that the world wants to hear.
See? Where'd it go?
You were all waiting for that, I know.
Yes. Good. I don't even know where to go from there, Ian.
I mean, I think we've got the solid premise.
I think
All
we
just
have.
need is the funding.
I think we have. All right. DC,
Warner Brothers, DC, give us a call. Ready to
DC,
go.
WB, call us up. You've already got contacts at DC, Ian. Come on.
Oh, I'm sure they'll love this idea.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right, question from Professor... Sorry. All right, question from Professor Rye. Dear Ian, how much lettuce do you think you could eat?
Well, is there money on the line? Because, I don't know. You offer up enough lettuce, I'll eat enough lettuce. I'll go through an entire head. I ain't proud.
Okay, but you have to get paid for it?
Well, I'm not going to eat an entire head of lettuce for fun. That's ridiculous.
Do you eat lettuce at all?
Yeah.
Normally? Okay. Just checking.
Yeah, I usually do like a lunch wrap, a little bit of lettuce, a little bit of bell pepper,
Okay.
protein du jour.
I was wondering.
You don't need to, or I'm very basic with my salads.
Yeah.
Just lettuce and I don't know, crouton. Get
Yum.
that bell pepper out again.
Yummy.
Not even dressing. I've never found a dressing that I like, so I'll just eat it straight. But
Wow.
that's a handful of leaves. That's a bowl full of leaves.
That's
But if there's money on the line,
surprising.
I mean, I'll get through an entire head of iceberg. Sure, why not? Just gotta make sure it's washed.
I mean, yeah, I'll eat lettuce. Why not? I eat lettuce. I eat salads. I'll eat lettuce. How much do I think I could eat? I don't know. However much I need to. I don't know. Soccer God has a question. A bit over 10 years ago, I had a dream that I was watching Star Wars and Adam Sandler was playing Luke Skywalker and Arnold Schwarzenegger was playing Darth Vader. How would that play out?
Way more entertaining than I really want to admit. Not the biggest Adam Sandler fan, but imagining him doing his typical shtick as whiny Luke
is very yummy.
That's very funny.
That is very funny. Yes. That idea is very funny.
And Arnold as Vader, I mean, play it straight. It's basically the Terminator.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
I find your lack of faith disturbing. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. Told me, no, he told me you killed him. No, I am your father. You're a traitor and a spy for the Rebel Alliance. Take your way.
That's a very, very that's a very Mr. Freeze-esque Arnold you got there. You don't normally talk like that.
No. This is absolutely 90s era lampoon.
Oh, yeah.
But that's the funniest version.
I know, that's the funniest thing. Yes. Oh, boy. Speedweed has a question. All right, here's the question I had in mind. With Metroid, we still have plenty of mysteries regarding what exists in the galaxy, what may still be running around and what not. But I want to turn to the attention to one of Samus's bird dads, Old Bird. He's always fascinated me, but now, more than ever, with the Dread setting, the precedent for where the timeline is now, and I want to ask you, Ian, from one Metroid fan to another, if you were given the chance to write for a Metroid comic or manga, what would you want to explore with Old Bird, especially at the latest point in the timeline? We have so much to cover, given the Throamakin kerfuffle, the X-Parasites and Phazon, Space Pirate Uprisings, and Federation Plus, but I really want to get a view for your idea on something like that would be satisfying for both you and other hardcore Metroid fans, too.
I would say go to Old Bird in his youth, or younger days at least. Maybe not necessarily young Bird, but not when he knows Samus, and see the universe from his eyes when the Chozo are not gone yet. When they're exploring the cosmos, when they're leaving their thumbprint on the various societies, and what is his viewpoint of these other races or these other strange things out there? How does he view the universe, and does that match with what the Chozo see, or is he kind of an outlier? What did the Chozo want with the galaxy overall? What were their plans, and how did he fit into that worldview? And maybe even frame it from the perspective of Old Bird circa Samus, and how he has changed since then, or how maybe his views have been validated in that time, or how they've been subverted. Not necessarily call back to the X parasites or Phazon or any like deep cuts. Yes, I'm actually saying not reference stuff for once.
What?
Like, use him as a vehicle to explore the greater universe, and in that context, bring new understanding to what has been established.
Interesting. Not make references? Who are you, and what have you done with Ian Flynn?
Well, the thing with Metroid, it's like Speedweed said, we've seen so little of this cosmos. I feel like it needs to be expanded upon more and explored more and defined more than getting too self-referential and inward gazing.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I did enjoy how Dredd called back that older stuff and tied things together. Nothing wrong with that. I'm glad Silex is finally getting his due, as in he does something. But in this particular context, if we're going back to Old Bird, like, use him to explore things a bit.
That makes sense, I guess. Whatever. Jeez. Spoiler 1001 has a question. Which of your cats can pull off the Puss in Boots sad eyes the best?
None, actually.
Really?
When Meebo gives you any kind of look, it's that kind of wide-eyed, happy, "Hi there, I'm Meebo. Gonna chew on your ankle? How's that hurt? Won't chew on us all. It's lots of fun. Oh, you picking me up now? Love time."
Glad he's Korg.
Molly has no thoughts behind those eyes.
Head empty, yes.
Yeah, it's just a stare, and sometimes it's affectionate. Sometimes it wants something, be it food or attention, or who knows, because it's just a dial tone back there. And Midna does not give you the sad eyes. She gives you the demanding eyes.
It's just to say, like the angry eyes, I would figure.
Not even angry, just, you will do this for me now because I demand it. And you do, because you see the look on her, you get her done.
Yeah. I mean, she is the Twilight Princess, after all. Twilord has a question. You've recently worked on a Mortal Kombat related project, right? Is your knowledge good enough that you could, hypothetically, do a noob Cybot impression? He kind of talks a little bit like Dr. Claw. A little bit. A very gravelly voice.
Okay, so at least in the newest voice, it's kind of Dr. Claw, but it's got more of that empty helmet reverb effect, which I can't do because that's an actual audio processing thing.
Yeah.
But let's see. You start out with the Dr. Claw and maybe move it back. The other end of the throat. I suppose that's a reasonable facsimile on the fly.
Good.
Hi there. This is Noob Cybot. Leave your message at that scream. Ah!
Good. Nice. So Black Doom got the flu. Oh boy. I wonder where this is going. All right, here's one from Straub. Ian and Kyle, in the hypothetical anime of life, what instrumental music plays when you guys walk into a room? I already have answers in my head, but I suppose I'm curious what you guys would choose for yourselves.
Tank out of Cowboy Bebop, but I'm not synced to it at all. Like, it is jamming out, and I'm just kind of meandering, doing my own thing, tripping over something. It's completely inappropriate. It is a waste of brilliant music.
How about Tank from Cowboy Bebop on kazoo? Warm up the kazoos.
There you go. Sure, that would then make it more appropriate.
For both of us, yes.
3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Oh no. Oh no. And then Vuvuzela cameo. Oh boy. Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what it would sound like. Cyberspace Coco has a question. I assume the answer will be yes, but I have to ask. Would we have gotten a Mega Man Soccer storyline if the Archie comic kept going? And if so, what Robot Masters would have excelled at the game? Who would struggle? And which Robot Master would have faked an injury? And why would it be Bubble Man? Rude. Way to throw Bubble Man under the bus there. Come on.
I did have a plan.
Good.
If the opportunity arose, I wanted it to be the free comic book day issue.
Okay.
And it would be played straight.
Good.
And it would use the roster that's in the game, and Bondman would be the captain of the Wily team and just an unstoppable force on the field. And then the big reveal by the end of it was that Mega Man's neural processor was overheating, and so he effectively had a fever dream.
Oh, come on. Why does it gotta be a dream? Why can't it be real?
Because I find that hilarious.
Okay. I mean, it is pretty funny, but also, I want Mega Man Soccer to be real.
Given the context of the Robot Masters and what Dr. Wily had done up to that point, I don't see how we could do that.
Whatever. Don't think about it too hard. You're thinking about it too hard, Ian. That's the problem.
That was my job!
Yeah, well, you gotta cut loose once in a while. Virgil Angelo has a question. Thoughts on Mortal Kombat going all in on the multiverse? Personally, I find it hard to get a strong attachment to new versions of characters when they can get rebooted, rewritten, recast, and replaced at a moment's notice. We saw Sub-Zero bury the ice hatchet with Scorpion, only for the latter to die and then get replaced. Is it something you would embrace as a writer, or would you steer away from it?
Personally speaking, what I really enjoyed about the Mortal Kombat 1 story mode in the first 2 acts was that it was the new status quo. We were re-meeting these characters. We were reestablishing the lore and the origins. It was a fresh take, but still familiar. And some of these characters were like wholly recontextualized. I really liked that. And then I was very disappointed when Shang Tsung showed up and we had the multiverse again. It's like, no, you had such a compelling good thing here. And it is a neat way to tie into the ending of 11 because it had a multiple ending scenario. And I can't fault it for that. But I was so enjoying Mortal Kombat 1 for what it was that I was kind of glad we were done with 11 and all that came before. It felt like a nice, clean start. Yeah, you had a bit of the convoluted backstory with the beginning of a new universe and Geras remembering stuff and Liu Kang's God now, but that's fine. That's the new starting point. All you need to know is it's Fire God Liu Kang, and he's putting together a team to save Earthrealm. That's great. Run with it. Phenomenal. All of it was coming together really nicely. So I don't know what they're going to do for, I'm assuming, Mortal Kombat 2. I don't know what they're going to call it because the other one's called Mortal Kombat 2. Maybe they won't use Roman numerals. Who knows? But the stinger implies more multiversal shenanigans. Kind of hope they don't do that. Like, save it for a DLC mini campaign or something. Focus on the new universe that's there. You've laid this foundation. There's so many characters that you can explore in a new way. That I find more interesting in this case.
Well, I mean, come on, Ian. It's all about the multiverse these days.
I know.
Everything's got to be the multiverse. We got to come up with the BumbleKast multiverse.
No. That said, because they referenced it in particular, yes, it was nice in the previous timeline that Sub-Zero and Scorpion grew past their hatred and came together. And there is a degree of tragic poignancy that the younger Scorpion, or a version of the younger Scorpion, ruined that because of his anger, because that wasn't resolved. And, you have that burning need for vengeance and how corrosive it is. And then he himself was kind of saved by the redeemed version saying, we can be better than this. There's some merit to that. I also understand why he wouldn't necessarily be fond of it. So,
alrighty. We have one last question. It's from Vineclad. Who would win in a duel between Ian and Dan Green?
Dan Green.
What kind of duel is it? First of all, we should probably establish that.
It doesn't really matter because once we, lock eyes, I'm just going to say, do whatever you want, Mr. Green. You've deserved it.
Don't be like that.
I will take the knee. I will let him finish me off because it's Dan Green.
What if it was a Pokemon card game?
Don't matter.
Okay.
You can send me to the Shadow Realm. I know that's not Pokemon. I don't care. I'm just going to ask that he uses that voice.
Okay. Or okay, I guess it would be fittingly more a Yu-Gi-Oh duel.
I know, but it doesn't matter if it's pistols or, sabers or the game of Sorry. I don't care. I just want him to send me to the Shadow Realm.
Or a game of wits.
That's my only request.
A duel with swords. Yeah. I don't know.
However,
I don't know which of you is trained more in swords. I don't know. I know you're probably not, Ian. So
like stage combat.
Okay. Oh well. I mean, that's something.
I know how to swing big and pretend to lock swords. Actually, fun little anecdote. The school I was at, we actually got real sabers that had been blunted so that they were safe. But otherwise, they had the weight and the balance of actual swords, and those are hefty.
Yeah, the swords are not
you gotta
light.
Put your shoulder into that just to make it look good. So
yeah,
those were fun. We liked choreographing sword fights with that.
Well, then, see, you have some experience with a sword.
Yes, and I know how to just absolutely turn it upside down, take the knee, and say, "You win, good sir, damn great." And I believe he's honorable enough to let me live. But yeah, if not, at least I got taken out by Dan Green. Come on, who else can say that?
True.
Aside from Kaiba.
Oh, so this is how we get kicked out of MagFest.
Why is he going to be there?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. He could be. He's not a guest, at least, as far as I know. But
so he could be anywhere in the crowd.
He could be.
Hiding,
he could be.
Waiting.
Biding his time. It's true. All right, we're done here.
Yes, and not because of Dan Green, just because we've run out of questions from our patrons over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. We hope to see you at Super MagFest. And otherwise, we'll see you again on the BumbleKast.
Watch out for Dan Greens. He could be in this very he could be in this very recording right now.
Oh
God! I think I'm almost ready for MagFest. Almost.
We got just a few more days.
Are we ready for? Strom is asking if I'm ready for them. I don't know.
My concern is making sure we're all packed and we get to the hotel and registered. After that, I'll worry about all the other scheduling stuff.
You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org.
Meebo has discovered a new game.
Oh no, what's he doing now?
We call it Bite Ian's Ankle.
Is it working?
Oh, he has a grand time.
Okay, I'm just wondering.
My ankle is bitten. It's my left ankle too. Always the left one.
I'm just wondering if he's having fun. As long as he's having fun, then it's okay.
So much fun.
Good.
I'll be sitting there writing an email or playing a video game or nothing in particular. And just all of a sudden, there's warmth and weight and teeth upon my feet. And he's just wrapped around it like a boa constrictor going,
wow.
And doing a little back feet kiki thing. And I'm like, excuse me, sir. And he looks up at me with those big blue eyes and is like, yes?
And keeps going.
Carry on. I shall.
Yeah.
And I will, gently raise my foot because I don't want to kick the baby. And he'll say attached to my ankle. And now he's hanging upside down like a vampire bat. Chewing on my heel.
Ow.
And the socks don't do much to stop it. But it is adorable, pain aside.
Yeah. But still, it's annoying.
And then, finally I reach the threshold of how much I can stand. And I reach down to pick him up. And he's immediately butter. going.
I think really that's just what he wants you to do is pick him up.
Probably, yes.
Yes. Oh, cats. Oh, cats.